Well, imagine if there was like a magical girl with like the complexity of Batman. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Jesus Christ.
That would be amazing.
Alright. So, I have a cold.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be indulging my beautiful jazzy voice and some coughing and some tea drinking.
You've got a voice for radio.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you do.
You have 2 new messages.
Okay, so with us today on our lovely podcast, we have the sick but sickly awesome Cyrillus. Say hi,
Cyrillus.
Say hi, Cyrillus.
Hi.
And then we have Ozzy.
Yeah.
Wow. And then then we have Round.
Hey.
Round.
Hey.
Round.
And then
It's Ickle Tickle.
Oh yeah, Ickle Tickle.
Or is it Ickle Tickle then?
Either one
Tickle,
works.
whatever.
It's Ickle
Or
Tickle.
Little Nugget.
Or Little Nugget.
Little Nugget.
Let's say hi, Little Nugget.
Yeah.
Little Nugget.
Little
Hi.
Nugget. and then
Mr. Schmidt.
and then Mr. Schmidt. I don't really have. Forget mine. Mine's boring.
Yeah, I believe it was just A.T. Schmidt.
It was just A.T. Schmidt.
I had a guinea pig that was called Dr. Schmidt, if that makes you
Dr.
feel
Schmidt.
better.
Did you actually?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Dr. Schmidt.
Dr. Schmidt. That's really what I should call myself from now on.
Crazy doctor.
But I'm not a doctor. That's
I
like
love doctor.
that's like
Anime
Dr. Oz
doctor.
calling himself a doctor.
Dr. Oz.
I specialize in death. I kill my patients.
I just realized I said Dr. Oz and you're shit.
Oh.
It's fine.
Oh, I just got it.
Because your name's Oz. Oh,
I just got it. Oh. Yeah.
What a coinky dink.
Damn. So this is the Animooters
Animooters
podcast
Yes, it is.
edition.
Oh yeah.
So what we're gonna do today, since we're gonna be the maître de cérémonie, what's the name? How do you say that in
words.
English?
It is the weekend.
Master of ceremonies.
Master of
I'm
ceremonies.
MC
The
Sarah.
MC Sarah, MC Nugget, MC Ozzy,
Yeah.
and MC Schmitty.
Schmitty.
MC Schmidt.
MC Schmidt.
Okay,
that's
so
boring.
today the topic I wanted to address is magical girl versus superhero, because I was like, they're both kind of superheroes,
Yeah.
but not really.
Yeah.
What makes the difference?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, what was the difference?
So that's why I have to go, and we're gonna look into a trusty Wikipedia definition to just start from strong basic.
We're starting our podcast off with a Wikipedia entry. Yes.
We have to start from
Professionalism.
Professionalism.
No, it's not about professionalism. It's
Professionalism.
Backed up by quality research.
God damn it, you guys.
Hashtag profess. Professional.
Let me find my Wikipedia article so I can read you the beautiful and amazing definition I found. The superhero definition of Wikipedia. So let me find this.
Tell it, sister.
So, with my beautiful voice, I'm going to tell you that Wikipedia tells me about superheroes in the first, paragraphs. In modern popular fiction, a superhero is a type of heroic character possessing extraordinary talents, supernatural phenomena, or superhuman power, and is dedicated to a moral goal or protecting the public. And by most definition, characters do not require actual super or superhuman powers or phenomena to be deemed superhero, like Batman. Let's put it that way.
Batman.
And you talk about comic strip. It's from American cartoons. And it's basically the American pantheon of superheroes.
Yes.
So when I say superheroes, I mostly say like Marvel and DC. Though I'm more versed in DC than Marvel. So
Okay.
I'm mostly going to take my example from that. So please, haters, it's fine.
We need
All
followers.
the hate.
We need followers before we need haters.
Well, I mean, hey, what's more, people can hate listen to this if they want to.
Yeah, because they're going out of their way to look for obscure podcasts to hate on.
Just furiously and angrily masturbate over this podcast.
Exactly. I'm so right because of
Right to the point, guys. Right to the point. Okay. So.
Okay. Now that's definition of superheroes. But what about magical girls? Tell us that.
Well, I mean, you're the specialist in magical girl.
All right. Well, in that case, I don't have a Wikipedia entry because I'm just that much of a genius when it comes to magical girls. and magical girl, by its definition, is a girl with supernatural powers, often granted to her by a contract with a familiar or spirit of some kind. So usually it's like a cat or fox or something like that. And they fight evil, and are oftentimes the reluctant hero, usually being like an everyday normal girl who comes across
Mary Sue.
Mary Sue, that's right. And she usually has a couple of poses she gives. There's usually long transformation scenes where she strips down, does a little like stripper tease for everyone,
Does a little jig.
and then draws a little clothing and looks really sexy for a 12-year-old. And then defeats the enemies after a little rustle and tussle with a super final attack, which she should have used from the get-go, but for some reason doesn't. So and I think, in a way, it's a similar parallel to superheroes in that a lot of them are granted powers. A lot of them, though that's how you define a magical girl, even though that's not how you define a superhero. They have to have magical powers. They have to be granted it by something, some force of some kind.
Yeah.
Whereas you say that, and by the definition, superheroes don't need that.
Yeah, they basically, like, if you think of, like, let's say, like, superheroes, say Superman, he's an alien, that's why he has superpowers, because of the yellow sun gives him powers.
Right.
And then you have Batman has no superpowers aside
His
from...
superpower is white privilege.
Yeah, and money.
And money.
Yeah, so it's a rich white dude, that's his
angst.
superpower. Yeah.
His superpowers.
No one understands my feelings.
My parents are dead.
My parents are dead.
Yeah, and then you have, like, Wonder Woman, who's either powers given from the god or / daughter of Zeus, depending on the origin story.
Right. Sometimes they're gods, sometimes they're...
Yeah, so, Zeus's bastard offspring.
And I think, one thing that you raised an interesting point about is that unlike magical girls, superheroes can be anything, really. They can encompass a huge variety of things. With magical girls, they're sort of limited to, well, girls, mostly.
Well, it's magical boys, but they're slightly less common.
And I showed you one...
I didn't even look at that link.
You didn't look at that. I swear to God. You have to check it out.
But
What's it called, Aaron?
It is... Oh my God, I completely forgot the name.
I was just looking on Miles.
It's such a weird name for it. I don't even remember. It's like...
It's so unique that you can't even be bothered to remember it.
It's so unique, I can't even begin to describe its name.
So let's say, like...
It's called Cute High Earth Defense Club Love.
What the fuck?
Magical Robo Dance, yes.
What the fuck?
Jesus Christ.
I know. Have you seen this round?
No.
Have you seen this? Here, look at this.
Round.
Here, little nugget. Here, take a look. Look at this. These are magical. It is like Sailor Moon, but for boys. There's Io, Ryu, Yumoto, Atsushi, and En.
When you mean 4 boys, I'm assuming you mean like...
Five.
They're five.
Underage?
It's a senshi force, essentially.
They're
of like
underage?
Yeah, it's a senshi force.
Oh my god.
I know, and
they look like girls.
They're supposed to look like girls.
They're
They're like pretty
full-on-
boys.
I like this. It says there's a math formula here, and if you add 3 with Sailor Moon, you get boy
Oh my
club
God.
love high. That's perfect.
Like full-on K-pop androgynous look.
It is. It's really a K-pop look because
Magical Robo Dance, yes.
Because those idols, they're very popular right now. It's super super popular.
It's so hot.
I know it is hot, right?
Nobody
It's-
here.
yeah.
Is it hot for you guys though?
I'm-
you
I-
guys like it?
Well, I'm not as hot as you are.
I haven't
obviously,
watched it,
Oh,
so
no.
I wouldn't know.
over this right now round, but nugget.
Yeah, that's...
Round nugget tickle. But that.
So examples of magical girl that everyone knows would be the obvious Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon Precure series.
I have no idea what
It's
that
actually a
is.
really popular series, but it's not well known in the West. That's the series that gets a lot more like series and spin-offs from Toei as well.
Oh.
The guys who did Sailor Moon, they do more Precure series than they do Sailor Moon series.
Well,
There's like a new one every couple of years that they put out.
okay.
Yeah.
That's
There's also
interesting.
Madoka Magica.
There's Madoka Magica,
Yeah.
the subversive magical girl,
Yeah.
quoted by most people.
Yeah,
so.
the darkness. They're
if
starting
you
to
wanna
put the Snyder filter on their shit in Japan too. Apparently.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you want to stretch it a little more, there's also Kill la Kill.
Yeah,
you
that
guys
is
mentioned-
that is technically
See,
a
there's
magical
like
girl series.
anti-magical girl that turned into magical girl. It's like they start as a joke and then they just get really into it and then they just keep doing it.
And they
it's
just
like,
keep doing it, and it's weird. You get desensitized to it after a while.
I like the minute you mentioned that Kill la Kill was a magical girl series. I'm like, wait, what is it?
It is. It's
Really?
really.
It has all the tropes.
Yeah, it is. It's considered a magical girl series.
Okay.
Yeah.
It really is, because think about it. Like, there's like a magical force, which is the clothing she wears,
Yeah.
grants her powers,
Yeah.
and now she can fight against the evil forces against her.
She gets to fight against the big bad. Okay.
Yeah, the big bad, which is essentially, just
This-
other students in the school.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
head council.
Yeah, and they get stronger and stronger.
They get stronger and stronger. So, like, I think, well, most people would be familiar with Kill la Kill by now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She turns into a freaking plane at one point. I swear a lot. The rocket ship.
That was weird.
That was really weird.
Yeah.
It was really
I mean,
weird.
there's a lot of nakedness in general.
But I will admit, there's never been a magical girls series I've seen where the main girl turns into a rocket ship. I've never seen that.
It's pretty
Yeah.
special.
It's special.
Yeah.
It is.
So basically, so like magical girls are magic, but then there's superheroes that have magic. So like, what's the difference? Oh my god.
Yeah.
So
Is Shazam technically a magical girl? I'm not sure.
apparently he's a wizard.
He's a wizard.
He's a
Apparently
wizard.
he's a wizard.
You're a wizard, Shazam. I'm a what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, like the word Shazam, like what was it? Shazam! It's actually
Shazam!
it's all come from that character. Actually.
Yeah.
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 Would that
And-
mean Aladdin's a magical girl?
No. Shazam is not like some Arabic tale that was westernized.
Oh my
it's like
But
Just
the genie
Western.
gives him powers
yeah. But
3 times. But
we said
yeah.
superheroes. Fuck Disney, okay? But even if they own Marvel,
Really?
it
Okay.
doesn't count.
So you're really gonna be a Puritan and just like
Yeah, I'm just
with
gonna
it.
be
Yes.
a purist
Yes.
and like go because fucking Disney princess, like I have a fucking overdose. Like I can't deal with these anymore. Like
You love it.
You can't. No.
yeah, I loved it so much that I want to kill it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's true love. That's true love. When you want to murder
The
someone.
truest of loves.
Yeah.
We didn't know you loved it that much, Sarah. We weren't even going that
The
far.
best romances you ever watch are the ones where the girl wants to kill the man she loves.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the very end. That's the sign of true love, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
amazing.
But anyway, so what would be in your guys' minds the differences? Because I see a lot of similarities, but what are the differences?
See, like you think of Stargirl, she has like a staff that gives her like powers. And
Who?
stuff.
Stargirl?
Yeah, she has basic. She's dressed as the American flag.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know much about her, but I see her like a lot around in the DC universe. And there's Zatanna, who's a magician.
Oh,
But
yeah,
that's
that's
like
true.
passed down from generation to generation. It's like spells and artifacts and stuff that give them power.
But would Zatanna and another girl I can think of, Raven, would they be considered magical girls in the same sense? Because they had the power since they were born,
Yeah.
I can imagine.
But
So
they had to learn how to use it.
yeah, I mean, technically they might have, because I mean, genetically, if we're going back to Sailor Moon, genetically, Usagi was related to the.
Yeah, I mean, like Sailor Moon is like the first series was like just Sailor Moon, and it was so successful it just made them reborn in another
Yeah.
season, Sailor Moon
And there were
R, and then marketing took it from there.
Yeah, I guess. Well, the another show I can think of is I think it was called something Witch Sally, and it was like one of the first magical girl series from like the 70s that came out. Technically, magical girl.
Yeah, I think she
And-
had like different forms.
She had different forms, and she was just she was a witch. She was like a bewitched witch on a broomstick, cute,
Oz is gonna Google that for
Sally?
you.
Yeah, Sally, Witch Sally anime.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that popular in the Western world.
Yeah, it might be Witch Sally or it should be Sally.
I mean,
If-
like magical
What's it
girls.
called? Is that what it looks like?
Yeah, that's it.
Sally the Witch.
It's just Sally the Witch.
Just Sally the Witch.
Sally the Witch. That is essentially.
Wow, this looks old as fuck.
It is old as fuck.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Look at that.
What year?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Look at it. Look at it.
I think I
Look
saw
at the
like
date.
the images of the remake, maybe? I'm not sure.
Yeah, there were
Year?
remakes. Actually, hold on a second. I'm gonna look at the date. Oh, you're so cute. Yeah. Okay. No. Anyway.
Yeah.
So let me just open this
So what
up.
do you
It
need?
was from.
It is from 1966 to 1968.
Considered one of like the technically first magical girl series, but it's more like It was more like a kid-friendly version of like Bewitched and stuff like that, you know.
Ew.
Or like, yeah, exactly, like the sort of, I'm a witch, I fly around. It's the first magical girl genre anime in Japan. This may even more broadly be the first shoujo anime as well.
That's
Technically
amazing.
speaking, yeah.
So much evolution over the years.
There was.
Yeah.
And the remake you're thinking of was from October 1989 to September 1991.
What is it called? It's the same thing.
It's just Sally the Witch 2.
Yeah, but the designs
Sally
were
the Witch.
very different, though, I think.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Sally the Witch
There you
2.
Yeah.
There were 109 episodes for the first
Yeah.
season, and then 88 for the second season.
Wow.
Jesus.
I know, back
There was an anime film in the 1990.
and they're all from Toei.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Toei, like,
I
they're the
think
one
they-
who make really mad animes, right?
Recently, I mean, they had their stride back in like the 60s to 80s because like it was all
So for
hand drawn.
anyone looking to see how bad it got, look at the first opening for Sailor Moon in the 90s.
No, just watch one
and then
episode entirely.
watch Sailor Moon Crystal now, and just think it's the same company.
I'd say the only thing that looks good that's made by Toei right now is One Piece, but that's a different podcast altogether.
Exactly,
so I'll
because
just-
recently they've had other shows on their belt like Rowdy Wrestler, Matsutaro, and World Trigger, which are kind of like the World Trigger's getting a lot of episodes right now. Actually, I think they're on to like.
Wait, they're
50.
doing World Trigger?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, wow.
They're doing World Trigger right now, and it's not very
Jesus.
impressive. It's not that impressive.
That doesn't surprise me.
It's not. But Sailor Moon Crystal is their remake, and I'm gonna leave.
No. Okay, this is another subject entirely about me
Oh,
not
okay.
liking the
Are-
technical aspect of
So
this
are
show.
we just gonna leave that for that? Because I was so tempted to just like.
I think we can leave Toei in general for a later date.
All right, we're gonna do that.
Let's get back on
So-
track.
Yeah, so
So
basically,
now,
superheroes. So basically, from what I understand, there's like magic users like Zatanna, Dr. Fate. Dr. Fate's just a helmet that possesses people, and he has like secrets to an alternate universe. And
What
stuff.
about Doctor Strange?
Well, does he like? I'm not super familiar, but he was a surgeon and then goes to learn mysticism and gets like a necklace with powers. It's probably going to be an Infinity Stone in the Marvel movies, and Benedict Cumberbatch is going to be full on Doctor.
yeah, Doctor Strange. It's true.
And yeah, I mean, like he gets his powers a little bit from learning and getting an item, but like I'm not knowledgeable enough to say like he's a magical girl.
yeah.
But the
Yeah,
most
fair.
magical girl of all superheroes is probably Green Lantern.
Oh, any lantern in general is what you mean.
So yeah, so Oz, you know more about good Green Lanterns than I do, but basically, Green Lanterns, some normal, ordinary dude
Yeah.
finds Al Jordan basically is given this ring by this dying lantern that he finds in the desert, and then takes his oath and becomes a Green Lantern. He transforms. His ring gives him powers. He has an oath. He has people to obey to that are like the familiars, if you want.
And he has a
equivalent.
command he has to like shout out first.
Yeah.
That's
and-
the oath, I believe.
Yeah.
Is that the oath?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And then he also like his powers are fueled by.
Willpower.
So you know, Sailor Moon is love. Other thing is friendship and all that jazz. So,
Sailor Moon is love. Sailor Moon is life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's other planets.
Willpower is so boring.
Yeah.
I like every other lantern aside from the Green Lantern.
I don't know much about the Green Lanterns. I only know about Hal Jordan, like Sinestro and
Sinestro's
the yellow,
The yellow
Yeah.
lantern.
the
the
corrupted-
Sinestro
And I know
Corps.
about the cat Dex Star, the red lantern cat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my favorite lantern.
Yeah,
oddly
you
enough.
like that. Is it Dex Star or Rex Star? Or...
I don't recall, but he's just a cat that's angry with the world that
A
you know.
cat that's a lantern.
Yeah.
I know about the squirrel Green Lantern.
The Green
Yeah.
Lantern
Like
squirrel.
fucking
But...
Green Lantern.
Hold on, I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah. Look up the cat and show
Red
show Sarah.
Lantern
Fucking cat lantern.
cat.
Cyrillus is a cat fan.
Yeah, Dex Star.
Oh.
Dex Star. Yeah. Show.
Here you go.
Oh damn!
I know.
He looks like the lying cat in Saga.
Yeah.
Like he reminds me of that. It's just like lying. He's like so angry about everything.
Let's look up Dex Star.
Yeah. Let's look up Dex Star a little bit. The Dex Star is
Okay,
a
so
magical girl.
Yeah, and there's like different branches of the Green Lantern.
Once as a kitten in a litter of 5. Oh, fuck off, fucking images. Hold on. Once as a kitten in a litter of 5, Dexstar was abandoned and
And loading
And
image.
later adopted from the Brooklyn Animal Shelter. His new owner loved Dexter because he was always there to keep her company. She even said that Dexter made her life a lot better and that he would say the same thing too if he could speak. One night, a burglar broke into their apartment and Dexter scratched him. As the burglar screamed in pain, Dexter's owner woke up and called for help, but unfortunately help never arrived. The next day, when the police came to investigate the murder, one of the cops kicked Dexter out, saying that the cat could contaminate the crime scene, apparently unknowing that Dexter was a resident of the apartment. Dexter was left homeless for an unknown amount of time, living in a box on the street, when two thugs called out to him and bagged him. To their amusement, they decided to throw Dexter, while still inside the bag, off the Brooklyn Bridge to see him drown.
Fucking hell.
I know.
Just as they did, a red lantern power ring flew in, detecting the rage within Dexter's heart and turned him into a red lantern,
What the
and thus embraced his new identity as Dexter.
Yeah.
After killing the thugs, Dexter, remembering his owner's kind words and having the ring express his rage in coherent thoughts, vowed to find and kill her murderer, essentially. There you go.
He's like full on Peter Parker. Like
I know.
The best lantern.
Oh, Kitty Uncle Kitty Uncle
Yeah.
Ben. Aw.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
wow.
That's adorable.
I didn't know about that. That's some that was from the 90s, I'm assuming.
Probably.
Probably.
Okay.
When they experimented around with like a lot of the characters.
It's like we don't have readers anymore.
Yeah. Well, why don't we get like a horse alien guy to take Thor's hammer, and let's get a cat to be a Green Lantern.
Hey, let's make a parody of that guy, of that assassin dude Deathstroke, and put him in our Marvel comics. What are we going to
Deadpool.
call him? Deadpool. Yeah, sure.
That was Rob Liefeld.
Yeah, and it was in the 90s.
Yeah.
That's the point that I was making.
That's exactly it.
Amazing person.
There was also a death battle video that showed Deathstroke against Deadpool.
Deathstroke could kill Deadpool, but Deadpool wouldn't die.
Yeah, exactly. And,
So-
and in the end, it proved that Deadpool would win.
Spoiler alert, you're going to have to cut that out.
Oh shit.
Spoiler, well,
That's
okay.
Joe Baron.
That's okay.
No, it's fine.
It's
It's
fine.
been out forever.
It's been out forever. Come on.
I guess, but
Yeah.
still.
Let's elaborate in detail.
Well, I mean, no, like Green Lantern's a full-on magical girl. Like, there's
Yeah.
so many similarities. Like, he has like this little
Similarities.
outfit. But yeah, he's more a little bit
He's
more.
the prettiest girl.
He's the prettiest girl,
prettiest,
and there's
yeah.
like different. Like anybody can take his power and continue on the legacy of the Green Lanterns.
That is true. You can't do that in Magical Girls.
Protectors of Earth, you know.
You can't do that in Sailor Moon. You can't pass off the moon prism power to somebody else.
Well, I mean, Generation is the silver
Generation.
Millennium Crystal. You know, you can pass it down to the Generation. Like,
And that's right.
Mini
But they have to
Saudi.
be chosen initially.
I thought it was just like, you know, royalty just passed down.
I
to the
think so,
crystal.
maybe. I just remember it like Luna.
I mean, it's not like it's the most complete, thorough history.
No, it's
Like-
not the most thorough history, but like from what I remember from Sailor Moon the anime, Luna would sense for the other soldiers.
Yeah, they were the protectors of the princess. They were like
so they were
first
already
arm.
kind of gifted from the beginning because she had to be able to sense them in order to go.
Yeah.
Oh, that girl over there, Ray. She's Sailor Mars, obviously.
I
so-
mean, like,
Because they're
seriously,
descendants of the other Sailor Scouts.
That's right.
The attribution of the power to a specific individual. Do we know if there's other Sailor Mars? Do we know if there's other Sailor Jupiters?
That's a good question.
We
and I
don't know. They're just reborn all the time.
As far as I
So,
can
like,
tell from what the canon kind of conveyed,
the
it's
paper
not.
thin plot canon.
Yeah, essentially, some moon people fucked, and then they came down to Japan, and then they had their people, and then those
Always
people were
Japan. Always Tokyo
Japan.
Tower.
Well, in anime, it's always Japan. In America, it's always like New York or something.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Fair point. Or well, they all have their own city. Like
They all have their own city.
Marvel is more set in like the real world,
Yeah.
and I feel DC always has like these like similarities. Like I think Gotham would be like Detroit or something.
Detroit. Why do you say Detroit?
I don't know, because it's full of crime and Detroit's full of crime.
I always thought it was like
Yeah, it's like a weird version of New York.
That's what I was
basically.
thinking. It's like another
Yeah.
weird version of New York in a way.
And
I was
then,
thinking New Jersey for some reason.
Why New Jersey?
I don't know.
And Superman City is based off Toronto because one of the creator was Canadian. So
That's nice.
take that, Marvel. It's not all
That
American.
motherfucker. I just and so I guess we can talk about the similarities as well, just a little bit more in detail.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about, like I said, the Green Lanterns, like the oath, the powers. If he doesn't have the little thingamajig. He can't
His ring.
transform. Yeah,
His or her ring.
His or her ring cannot transform.
That's
And then the ring can break or not function if he doesn't have enough willpower.
That's right.
And and like it's like all the different sailors have like different powers.
Okay.
Like thunder, fire,
Yeah.
love, lasers from Venus.
I'm sure this is no contest.
Bubbles.
Bubbles!
I'm sure this is no contest when I ask this question. Like, there's an obvious answer to this, but like, in terms of like thematic justice for the heroes, do you think it's justified a little more in comics or in Magical Girls?
Like the justice side.
Well, like how justice is dealt to the villains and stuff like that.
It depends on the moral of the character. Usually it depends if it's an alien or a human.
That's
like, I
right.
mean, we know Superman can shoot the kill out of, like,
Exactly.
shoot the kill out of, kill the shit out
That's
of.
right. But in like Magical Girls
aliens,
series, yeah, there's
I mean,
usually
if it's a monster, it can definitely get killed all the time.
get killed all the time. I'm just
Yeah.
thinking like in those situations, like Magical Girls, their tendency is to sort of like Deus Ex Machina every monster they just run into. They just go, oh, I don't know if we can beat it, and then like for instance in Sailor Moon. The pattern's always the same in that. Serena always whines. She always wants to run away from the battle. Then Tuxedo Mask comes in, just throws a rose and goes, just believe in yourself. And then she's like, okay. And then she just pulls out like her one and just kills him in one hit.
Oh my god, Tuxedo Mask is so hot. What
Exactly.
a hunky guy.
Exactly. And it always, oh my god. Yeah, her sheep boner basically saves the day, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she has to get basically aroused in order to beat him. Like,
I mean, he
Yeah.
does have a cane that he uses.
who uses a cane anymore? That's magical in and of
And you
itself.
have a nice melody of the fridge.
You know what? I just see Tuxedo Mask and Zatanna looking well together because they're just like.
Your fridge is making shit ton of noise.
I know.
That's okay.
I think my fridge is becoming a magical girl.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fridge prism power.
Yeah, transformation sequence. Yeah, that's a very big. I mean, I don't know how many animes we can list that have like transformation sequence.
Although I
a lot
don't
of
think the lantern transformation sequence is as played up as Magical Girls
No, it
in
isn't.
general.
It's-
I mean, like they could fucking roll with it. Though.
They
oh my
could.
god!
I could see it happening,
Imagine the
for
Green
sure,
Lantern
but-
transformation scene looking exactly like the Sailor Moon one. So you see like Hal Jordan like naked and glittery, and he's just like having all his
Yes.
clothing. I know. Cyrillus wants that.
I
You want
mean,
that?
why not?
Round nugget. You want that?
I don't know.
You-
That's kind of like weird. Maybe.
It's weird.
I
I
don't
mean, it's
see it.
weird because you're not used to it.
You're not
Yeah,
used to it. You're not used to
exactly.
seeing like.
She'll
naked-
probably know if she likes it or not.
You
when
don't like
she
seeing
sees it.
naked Ryan Reynolds
I mean, we
man
should try.
butt.
Oh my
Just
god.
like, actually, think about that. Ryan Reynolds has now played both the Green Lantern
It's so
and Deadpool.
weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
I think he's gonna do a better job in Deadpool.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm representing Reynolds because like he's from Vancouver and I'm from Vancouver
Oh,
and
yeah.
and they filmed Deadpool in Vancouver. So
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah.
Anything more
yeah.
we can say on this topic?
sorry.
Huh?
Anything more we can say on this topic?
Well, I have something.
Yeah.
that I'm curious about. In terms of this is kind of obvious with DC and Marvel because they're much more respected characters, but like the empowerment of heroes and magical girls.
Oh god.
Because it's easy with superheroes, I think.
I mean, do you mean the dub version or the original version?
I just mean them as figures
I mean-
for people to look up to. Like magical girls, for instance, are kind of hard to look at because in Japan they're kind of
It
they're either or,
depends.
they're hidden.
I
Yeah.
mean, it depends because like a lot of people can take empowerment from different things, and
That's
you
right,
don't
yeah.
even never know which things are they going to get empowered on. It's like a lot of people. I remember reading posts about people feeling empowered by Sailor Jupiter because she was really tall, but she was still like, doing a lot of cool things, kicking butt, but also cooking cakes and like.
Yeah, exactly. So it's
You
like she kept her feminine side, but she was like she kicked ass and she
Yeah,
was,
I mean, like
yeah,
being
independent.
empowered by your character depends on like how your personal attachment and what you relate to that character. I mean,
That's
if
right,
they're all
yeah.
like fucking Mary Sue, like nobody wants to be Sailor Moon. Like honestly, like
No-
nobody wants to
no
be like
one-
of
yeah.
the sailors, but they don't really want to be like Sailor Moon per se.
people wanted to be Mini Moon more than
Yeah,
Sailor Moon.
she had more attitude.
She'd had more attitude. That is true. She had a unicorn. She had a unicorn too.
Yeah.
That she allegedly banged, according to people who've
What?
seen the
no,
show.
no, no.
but-
She had like I think they kissed.
No way.
They kissed once.
Close enough.
That's still bestiality, but like
Yeah.
whatever.
No, he was like a prince, and
Sure.
he could turn. into
Sure,
a woman.
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, fucking cats. Like the
Well, unicorns were known for shapeshifting, so I mean, bestiality still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about the little, like, Neko characters, magical girl?
That's still bestiality. That is still
Hardcore.
very much. I don't care if they have human limbs. They have cat ears and a tail. That's
I
bestiality.
think we can leave the bestiality thing for another podcast.
We'll be furries for another episode.
Let's keep this rooted on the magical girls versus
It's hard to
superheroes.
Well, this is all actually
Well, I mean,
coming
like,
back
let's say
to
you were talking about justice and, like, how
exactly.
people... It's
And
like,
I trailed off from there, and actually the cat girl thing kind of brings up an interesting point.
I mean, like, do magical girl kill humans?
That's a good question,
That's a
actually.
good question.
Because there's a lot
I
of,
don't
like...
think they really do, because all the enemies they ever fight are usually like mythical beings or like beings from another dimension or from space or something, and they never go after humans really.
So, like, we don't value life until it's human.
That's true.
No, I think about it. I don't recall Ryuko from Kill la Kill ever killing anyone either.
Didn't they kill, like, the mom at the end?
No, she killed herself technically.
Okay, suicide doesn't count as murder, so
That's true, yeah.
just put it that way.
But like, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That is a really good
like,
point.
you guys can, like dig in your head right now, like, why is it, like, is there...
Because like the closest thing I can think of
Like,
to
they get injured
harm,
or, like, the energy sucked out
the closest thing I can think of to like harm to humans that had ever been inflicted by magical girls was in Madoka when a bunch of people got possessed. Do you remember that?
I never really watched the series, but
there's an episode where like a bunch of people get sort of like zombified by the witches, and Madoka has to like beat them essentially, like pummel them down to knock them out.
Yeah, but they do that in Magical Girls, like, sometimes. Like, they kind of
Sometimes,
punch them out of the way.
But that's like the closest they ever get to that. It's never like, I'm gonna kill them.
That I know of. Like,
I've never seen...
I would totally watch the shit out of an anime where the magical girl had to kill people on a slightly regular basis.
I've seen a magical girl anime where they've killed other magical girls.
Ooh. Oh, yeah!
That Puni.
Yeah.
Remember that? Like, actually, what's funny is I looked at all the silhouettes. Like, when you see, like, Puni going up the staircase that first episode, and you see her fighting him, if you pay close attention to all the silhouetted witches they're fighting, they're actual characters from other stuff. Like, you see her, like, snap the neck of Sally the Witch at one point, and you see her drop kick Sailor Moon. It's true.
I haven't watched that, but, like, I am gonna look into that for sure.
Yeah, like, the first episode, like, you'll see, like, this character that doesn't really have anything to do with anything being like, I'm gonna be the creator of this new world and blah blah blah, and you see the hero going up the staircase to fight her, and as she's going up, it's all lit with like silhouettes in a red background, and she's going up and all these different magical girls are fighting her, and she just like, you see her like suplex and like drop kick their spine and like snap necks of like magical girls.
Jeez.
And there's just each popular and it's each popular girl from like another magical girl anime that you see going down the stairs and getting their ass kicked.
Yeah, and superheroes, I mean, collateral damage must kill people, and Magical Girl, like, like, sometimes they, like, destroy buildings and shit.
Well,
there's nobody in those buildings. They were evacuated.
And you know what? Yeah. We'll repair that building, like, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes, Superman didn't kill anyone when he went in that city. And
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah, so, like, if you think about superheroes, it's like, usually if they have to kill a person, it's a major plot point.
It's usually
like you think there's one time, spoiler alert, from the 90s, I think, when Wonder Woman killed Maxwell Lord, and that was like, and I think this was filmed when she did it, but she's like super pragmatic. She's like, that guy's gonna go bad. I'm just gonna kill him because I don't have a choice. And she killed him, and she got like tons of guilt from it. Like the world was like, "Fuck you, woman! Like, why'd you kill him?"
I recall there was also one point way before the New 52 where the Flash had to kill someone, and like he got a lot of flack for it too.
Yeah, like they get like. It's like if ever they have to kill someone that's irrelevant to the plot, they will have like major guilt or backlash, and it's gonna be a major like plot point.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about Black Widow, she kills people. Like, that's her job.
Yeah. But she's not a magical girl, so I guess
she's a girl, woman,
woman with some power.
Oh yeah, but we're talking about superheroes again. Okay.
That's right.
Yeah. So I mean, she doesn't like her superpowers. Like she had some modification. Like she doesn't age as fast, or she's like more agile and stuff.
Okay, so just like modifications, not exactly superpowers. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like,
but still a superhero.
Yeah. I mean.
But as opposed
I don't know. I feel like in superhero comics, people die all the time, but important people, when they die, it's like not as like it's a big plot point, but like collateral damage is like something that happens all the time.
Yeah.
But like Batman makes a huge point about not killing people and not using guns, and like, all the Bat family kind of tried to like severely cripple someone until you're unable to walk. Sure, don't kill them. You know?
Yeah. I think in the case of well, that just raises an interesting point because, like, and what we're basically saying is that with superheroes, essentially, they do at least try to illustrate or explain a little bit of the consequence of their actions a lot more often. Because magical girls don't really do that.
Yeah.
Really, it's usually just they beat the enemies, and if there's any damage, it's usually glossed over in the next episode.
Yeah.
You
In magical girls, you just avoid killing in general.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not even in the spotlight, like what's the moral consequences of killing someone? Okay,
it's literally just a Deus Ex Machina. They kill the enemy, and then the day's saved, and that's it. There's never any recoil to anything they do. I think the closest.
I think that's the thing that bothers me the most with magical girls, that there's never like, okay, so what does the fucking cop thing of this like fucking building that happen? Like there's like events that make like, oh, like there's a huge hole in the ground city. Oh, like people looked at the hole and then that's it. Like when like the Sailor Moon finished, and then they had the new season because they found out it was profitable and people wanted more. So like they had to like fucking retcon everything and like start over. And like there's like this meteor that falls, and it's like these two characters that are aliens, and they all notice the hole, and that's the only time I can think there was cops like. Oh, shit happened in the city, y'all.
I think the other, there's another one you showed me and recommended me called, and I like the concept, Yuki Yuna is a Hero. And that one had a really interesting concept with its monsters, where the monsters were sort of like on a parallel dimension to the real world, and whatever was affecting the real world was caused by those monsters.
Yeah,
and
something happened in the universe that would like damage, and then it would have some consequences in the real world. So they had like incentive to like get shit done really fast.
Yeah.
But they would like sacrifice themselves physically, so they would lose like earring or like the vision in one eye, the use of their legs or some shit.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that one was strange. It was like it's just like we'll just make cool stuff happen and have some sort of backstory to it. Like so, a lot of animes, sometimes I feel is like this backstory, whatever. Like make something awesome.
We'll just sprinkle it in, like some parent died or something, whatever.
Yeah.
I
don't know. It's interesting.
It is really interesting though. But,
yeah, but like I said, there's like superheroes are like superpowered beings to get justice done, such as like the magical girl, but there's like miles and millions of miles between like the concepts. It's always interesting between the Western and the Eastern integration of like powers and justice.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes there's like more serious animes that talk about that, but I don't know what the most thing we see is like just surface stuff.
Mostly surface, yeah.
They don't go in depth. And, like, in superheroes, like, it depends on what you're looking at. But there's always this big, like, justice thing. Like, there's, in Justice League, Gods Among Us, it's like Superman is... Spoilers! Okay. Basically, the Joker infuses his toxin with kryptonite, and then Superman gets, like, thinks that Lois Lane that was kidnapped by the Joker is a monster, and he kills Lois Lane.
Yeah.
And he's like really angry at Batman because he's like, Batman, if you had killed this asshole, it would not have happened. And you just keep like locking in him, and he just deserves to die because. And then there's like this whole thing, like, but do we have we cannot be the judge and the executioner at the same time. Right. And then like Superman's just like, fuck it, I'm becoming like a fucking despotic person. I'm gonna kill all the fucking dictators, put all the bad people in jail. So people are like, the world is okay, but like Superman is like, what, flipping his shit, and like he joins like the Yellow Lanterns, and he has like a yellow ring, and he's like kind of brainwashed by the villain, the Red Lantern. Sinestro, yeah.
The Red Lantern? What?
Yeah, the Yellow Lantern.
Oh yeah, there
Sinestro.
you go.
Yeah, and like they basically it's like Green Lantern versus like Yellow Lantern. It's like this big thing. It's very interesting to talk about like the concept of justice and power and stuff.
Wow.
So,
okay.
yeah, like it's interesting. It's the first ensemble comic. I'm just like, fuck this.
Well, my question then, I want to pose a question to you guys about that, because like in their beginnings, a lot the magical girls and heroes have a similar beginning where the concept was similar. Concepts are very similar in that the the consequences were very minimal. The justice was very swift and easy in terms of conclusion. The only difference is that with superheroes, they had a lot longer time to develop more interesting stories because more people latched onto it and added their own flavor to it.
Yeah, people.
And now,
Yeah, keep going.
sorry, and now the characters are much more complex, much more interesting. You're hugging Superman like there. You're loving
man,
that.
Superhero.
Just imagine
Yeah,
it's Henry Cavill.
he's my hero. He's my little nugget.
Go on.
But over time, over like 30, 40, even 50, 60
No, it's
years
from
for
the
some of them.
30s. Like it's
So 70 years and 80 years onwards, these characters have developed drastically, hugely, and now they're more complex, interesting than ever. Do you think the same thing can happen over time with magical girls if they make enough of them, or
That would be interesting.
It's
actually.
like, let's say, like, we always go back to Sailor Moon. It's like the most obvious canon, like magical girl thing you can think of that everybody knows about. It's like this thing is like 20 years old, but they never like build on it. They just do remake and like spin-off movies that don't really add to the mythology as much. So
that's right?
it's like, I feel like they don't really do the same kind of thing. Like, I mean, there's like let's say One Piece that's been like going on forever. Like there is like a long ass mythology that could be kind of compared to like superhero mythology. Like it has origin stories and like why you did certain things, and now it's like, you know, delving into something else, and there's like a bunch of villains, and there's like every arc has a villain.
Right.
There's recurring villains. So I think like long run mangas go that way, but I think they're not like, it's always the same writer that's doing it. And the difference with comic is that it's always like another person that would add something different to it.
That's right.
It's not always like, you know, Batman.
With most manga artists, it's usually
It's the
dedicated
same
to
artist.
the one artist and his team. Mostly.
Yeah, so like the artist or Shonen, like the company that publish the manga is owner, like the owner is still the owner of it, and it's like its thing. But there's not like a periodical thing where it's like, this is a property and people just write on it and move on, move in, move out, and there's different art styles. And I think there's like a different technique and approach to that.
Well,
I mean, there's like creator-owned comics that will always keep the same people.
Yeah.
But then it's like everything seems to be creator-owned in Japan.
That's right. But the tides did sort of change more than 40, less than 50 years down the line when from Sally the Witch to the point where now shows like Madoka are starting to hit real trends with people as opposed to Sailor Moon now. So that kind of raises an interesting question about if that's sort of... And actually, the Madoka series, you know Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei, the one I keep talking about?
Yeah.
Same director.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's the same director, Akiyuki Shimbo. Akiyuki Shimbo's the guy who did...
Is the money coming from the same place?
No, not really. I mean, it's
that can be an influence.
It's just his directorial skills sort of were suited better for like Madoka because he's been all over the place. He's done Maria Holic, he's done Arakawa Under the Bridge, he's done Bakemonogatari, he's done Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei, and most popularly recently he did Madoka. So,
well, I don't know any of these aside from Madoka, but like, like I said, it's like I guess the two different systems bring something very different. It's like even in anime, like if you think of a DC animated series, it's always like the same characters, but it's always kind of the same different backgrounds. Like people are making fan fiction of shit and then just getting it done. So, and like people will probably wrote fan fiction of Batman like when they were kids, or now writing Batman.
Yeah.
You know, so
exactly.
But there's even with
I giggled at the idea of Batman fan fiction.
Dude, fanfiction.net.
I think my favorite
Batman
Batman fan fiction has to be Batman Spider-Man. That's like that's my favorite one.
Yeah.
That's because that's the only place you're gonna see Batman teach Spider-Man how to count using pumpkins, tubas, and houses. It's the best.
I think like I'm thinking like what kind of property in Japan has kind of the same like creative process as American comics or American like, you know, hero properties. And I would think like what comes to mind is Zelda.
Yeah, kind of.
It's never the same people.
Well, it's funny you say that because like there's a huge underappreciated, I think, indie scene going on in Japan right
I'm
now.
not in Japan, so I don't really know the indie stuff.
Exactly.
I guess that's the
Well,
problem.
I mean, just like the shorter stuff, like the usually shorter series at like smaller studios that usually make stuff.
Oh yeah, like Little Witch Academia and stuff.
Yeah, like Little Witch Academia,
Yeah.
where it was a lot. Well, that one was like all the pros from another studio, Gainax, moved over and said, "Fuck this! This is
it's
getting
Trigger.
this is getting generic and shitty. So let's go over to let's go and make our own stuff over at Trigger."
Yeah.
And now Gainax is really not doing well. They actually just sold off Gainax just sold off the rights to FLCL.
What?
What?
They did.
Who'd they sell it to?
Production IG.
Jeez.
They sold it off because literally they went, well, none of the original people are left here, and we don't have the same sort of like cred anymore because of it. We have to sell off these rights.
I think we can. This is another topic. Let's get back
I know.
on track.
Well, let's just leave it at they did this to keep their studio afloat. Like,
Jesus Christ.
I know. They gave away one of like the biggest things that Gainax was known for, away to another studio that technically worked on it too. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Economics. I mean, like, it's like if Marvel sold off like one of their characters. It's like,
Yeah.
don't even give royalties to the creators at all. It's terrible. I think they got like different like things like lawsuits came over like over time, and they basically started to like give them more like returns to characters.
Yeah.
Like the creator of let's say Deadpool. Like I don't know how much money he's gonna get from Marvel. Because he created the character, but then he left off and went to do Image Comics.
Maybe there's some sort of like
Rob Lee Creed.
royalties or rights he can sort of retain out of it.
I don't know. He created it for Marvel,
Yeah, that's
so
true.
that's why a lot of people are doing like creating their own stuff on
Yeah.
Image. So.
Yeah, Image is a really good.
Yeah, so
publisher.
Image is kind of like more the manga versions. Like it's this big label, and they have all the artists under it, and then these artists make their own stories over time, but they never change. Sometimes you'll have a guest artist, but most of the time it's always the same writer.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's usually pretty good.
But even sometimes, like, let's say you take a series like Rat Queens, like, tons of shit happened. Always the same writers, but so far they had, like, 3 or 4 different artists. So,
Right.
Yeah. But it never happens in Japan. It's like mangakas. They have a system. It's always the same artist.
And they're very strict in Japan to keep it as devoted or as or committed to the same sort of staff as possible with like each series, because like this
it
new.
has to remain the same forever.
I know the same voice actresses for the original Sailor Moon series reprised their roles for Sailor Moon Crystal.
Still sucks.
Still sucks. I know. Still sucks. They could not save it. The original voice actress could not save it. And a third season's coming out. And they're promoting it with.
To be fair, I watched like 26 episodes of the first season, so like
Exactly.
Anyway, how many episodes they have?
Well, I think they have 24.
Well, it's like,
for like
honestly,
the second.
like the first season they got like almost like through half of the book series. Like it's 18 volumes. It's like pretty fucking light.
So 26 episodes to get through 19. That's insane.
18. No, they didn't get through, but like
Through like 9
I have
volumes
to
or
like
something.
maybe recheck the mangas like where the chapters were. But like it was just 18 volumes, and there were 3 volumes of Sailor
Jesus.
V, and that was it.
Wow.
So, anything more in regards to magical girls and superheroes?
Anyone
Or
can
is,
think of anything?
Yeah.
or is that it?
Oz is like the mediator.
Well, I gotta be here because I see you guys going off
Trailing
track.
and
Yeah.
going on a tangent.
Yeah, the
I'm like, a bit of a tangent's alright, but you gotta keep it on track. But
Yeah.
if you got nothing else to say, then...
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
I think that was good.
It's all good.
See, it's like both properties are popular in the modern zeitgeist, you know? Everybody
Yeah.
knows magical girl, everybody knows superheroes, and they would just like, well, it's people with powers, it's the same thing. And it's like, it's not.
It's not the
Except
same
from
thing.
Green Lantern.
Yeah.
The powers that the magical girls have, though, amongst
Lanterns in
them,
general.
are relatively similar.
Yeah, but like, let's say, oh no, they're ninjas. But like, let's say like Super Saiyans and stuff, like they could kind of be like Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not magical girls.
It's not magical girl.
But it's like, they're not even superheroes either because people don't give a shit about them. Like, you're not even-
That's what are you talking about? Like they can't not be called superheroes because no one gives a shit about them. What are you talking
but
about?
I mean like, it's like nobody's like, oh, there's like this Sengoku guy and he like saves the
No,
world
nobody gives
all
a
the
shit about
time.
Son Goku. Everyone's
nobody
all
gives
about
a-
Mr. Satan.
That doesn't mean he's not a superhero.
Yeah, but he saved the world a bunch of times.
Yeah,
Like,
that makes
No,
him a
but Mr.
superhero.
Satan.
Yeah, I know Mr. Satan.
Yeah, Mr. Satan as well. He's a superhero.
Yeah, totally a super. He totally beat Cell that
Oh,
one
he
time.
just swindles off of other people's successes,
He
which is
beat the shit out of Cell. Yeah, he's the
It's
world
just like
savior.
it's like
right
when
there.
the superheroes like they go and save the world, like people know.
Yeah.
It's like I mean I don't know, maybe it was created when it was less like surveillance and internet society, but like even then it's like you have all these magical girls like killing a shitload of monsters roaming around the city, and people are just like, yeah, it was monsters.
Yeah.
Moving on. Like
Totally
nobody's like,
normal.
let's like investigate that shit more. It's like no, they never have like this like a paramilitary organization that explains like paranormal shit like X-Files style. No one's like none of things about that almost.
Well, one
like
thing,
I cannot really think of an anime that does like there's like Witch Hunter Robins. They investigate witches.
kind of, yeah. But-
Like I don't know. Like, can you think of one like that does like investigate like into magical girl incidents and stuff?
Putting me on the spot
that's
here.
a good question.
Like no, like basically.
I think I don't know.
There's like Helsing with vampires.
when superpowers become
Vampires
commonplace or
don't
something.
count, do
or,
they?
I don't know.
well, I mean they're monsters. Like they're
What about when superpowers become commonplace? There was kind of some mystery-ish stuff.
Oh yeah, that
But, like,
series.
It just kind of, but
I was thinking of Superhero Academia.
Little Witch Academia.
No. I was thinking of
My Hero Academia.
is what I was thinking of, where
Yeah.
like superpowers are commonplace and like there has to be laws and restrictions on the use of them.
yeah, it's like demons and stuff. It's always like oh, there's like a mask or a
Yeah.
thing, and normal people can sense it, or like it's normal to the world and we don't really talk about it.
Yeah.
It's always like it's never like someone is investigating this. Like it's never that.
Well, I have one more thing I want to add about magical girls,
Yeah.
and that is magical girls' influence on Western media.
Oh shit.
No.
Because there's a
of
lot,
that.
especially in recent years, there's
Yeah.
been a crap ton. There's been Steven Universe.
Yeah.
There's been Star versus the Forces of Evil.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of like little tropey episodes that popped up here and there in a lot of other shows recently.
There's like comics. There's like a lot of indie comics. There's a
What was that one you showed me?
there's Zodiac Star Force. I think that's published by Dark Horse.
Is that the one you showed me, or is it?
There's a
Zodiac
bunch.
Star Force.
And then there's another one. It's very like magical girl like plus plus. And then there's what's it called Power Up. That was like a short from Boom Studio.
Okay.
And then there was other ones. I can't remember.
There was a really pretty one you showed me.
I mean, there's so many pretty ones. Like
Yeah.
so many beautiful comics being made.
It was all like lineless. Oh, it was Zodiac Star Force.
Yeah.
Oh.
the Zodiac Star
I don't know
Force.
why I was thinking of Saint Seiya when you said Zodiac Star Force.
Saint Seiya.
Because, like, basically their powers are from, like, constellations and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know.
And zodiac signs. So it's like, oh man, why does this remind me of Saint Seiya?
But the series that have been influenced, they haven't really followed the tropes verbatim. They've just sort of used them as like a foundation.
Yeah, they're like a jumping point.
'Cause,
But
like-
it's
'cause,
the
yeah.
westernized version of that concept. Was because like that kind of happened at the same time as like the Sailor Moon reboot was advertised, and people
there's
were
other
like,
ones,
and
yeah.
like my Twitter feed, like they're like all like, oh my god, like I love Magical Girl and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
they're not like Magical Girl is like a non-shameful concept that people are just kind of like jumping on the bandwagon and doing, which is fine because like we all wrote like our own version of Magical Girls when we were
Yeah.
kids. Anyways, I did.
I just thought of another one. Bee and Puppy Cat.
Yeah, that's a Magical Girl.
That was Magical Girl series. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
lots of and then like superhero stuff is always like around.
It's always around, and
Yeah.
it's easy to. I think it's easier to subvert the the hero now because that's sort of commonplace now to make them a little bit
Yeah,
more complex
it's
than.
mainstream.
Yeah, exactly. You can't make them mainstream again. You can't go the mainstream route with a hero anymore.
Yeah, I
You
mean
have
it's
to
like
kinda
it's
go-
not like it's like TV and movie stuff is really different than what's happening in the comics, in my opinion.
Right.
Because I feel it's like a formula that movies are doing. Like, if you watch like Guardians of the Galaxy, it's like a really good movie. But like, if you know the formula, like it's like unconventional heroes, the like unlikely pair, or like unlikely
yeah,
group
yeah.
get together, and there's like the montage sequence of them going to kick ass, and then like
And
it's
not
very
really
like I can see like the step by step, and it's like the recipe works, and it's not wrong. It's just
No,
like it's there's gonna be a saturation really soon.
It can easily be made to feel generic and cliche.
But then you look at Japan, saturation.
The saturation.
What is that?
Oh, what is that? Is that thing we've been doing for years and years? Oh shit, it is. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, saturation of bad things.
Oh my god, like that. I don't blame people for not wanting to get into anime now because of how saturated a lot of the genres are.
It's hard,
especially shonen, magical girl, and some forms of fantasy anime. I get that.
Yeah.
You know, especially with a lot of the ways they use girls, so to speak. Which sort of brings up which sort of raises the controversial issue of if magical girls are really
pedophiliac.
Yeah, pedophilia.
I think this was from another podcast that we just did a while back.
Yeah, but it raises questions. You know, like, is magical girl just like fucking trope city for eye candy, or is it like the words.
Can superheroes be considered trope city for eye candy, depending on which one?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like, I mean, dude, have you fucking read comics from the 90s?
No, apparently not, no.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
I know.
It's like, you basically have to do the same thing you do with fan service. It's like Broken Spine Woman, and like vacuum sealed costumes and shit.
With, what's the word you've used all the time? For further clothing?
Oh, you mean like boob pockets?
Yeah, boob pockets.
Yeah, because like they wrap their individual boob instead of like spandex forming like around both at the same time.
I'm just gonna say it
baffles me to be honest.
As an owner of boobs, I would say that doesn't.
The owner of boobs.
Like, it doesn't really work that way, even with like stretchy fabric. It's like.
Yeah, because.
It's gonna be like some fucking gaps.
Yeah, the boob doesn't fold over and catch on. It's just like it presses straight down across.
Yeah.
It's not like it goes, okay, underneath
it's like,
and keep going down.
There's been like a movement. Like, since there's like. It was basically like a boys' club. Like, and I think anime is probably a lot of a boys' club to some extent. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know like the landscape of what it is, but like in terms of like comics. In North America, it's like it's gotten better-ish.
Better-ish? I mean, it's trickling.
I mean, there's more like artists and they draw like characters differently, and they just got like, you know, believable shoes, not vacuum sealed costumes. Like, there's some like old comic artists who are just like, oh, I don't like that women are like practical outfit wearing now. And he's like,
well, I'm sorry you spent 40, 50 years of your life drawing it one way and don't want to change. I'm sorry.
It's just like, for like, sometimes it's like you want to read something and then you go into a comic store and it's like tits and ass everywhere, and you're just like.
And hey, nothing wrong with that.
I don't feel like this is catering to me, but sure, like.
We've been over this last podcast. It's not for you. It's get out. No boys, no girls allowed.
Yeah, I mean, now I feel like it's more welcoming now, and like I think artists are aware, and they're less like if you want your cheesecake 90s looking art, like there's something for you out there.
And you can see that at cons as well. Like,
oh god, yes, you can.
I mean, you have to look, but you'll see it.
It's always there, and like even like overly like muscular dudes that like power fantasies for men, like it's still a thing that's there too. Yeah. I mean, it's, you know, fantasies. It's basically like the male gaze version of fantasy. It's like, I'm a very powerful dude, and it's like this hot chick with very anatomically wrong proportions, but
exactly. We'll get our anatomy right because we know how guys work, but like girls, man.
What is girl?
What is a girl? I've never seen one.
What is the male gaze?
Yeah. I'm glad we're talking about this.
What is the female gaze?
I'm glad all four of us sausages, us dudes here, are talking about it. Yeah.
So like sexuality and magical girls and superheroes, like that's the similarities. There you go.
Yeah.
And the differences.
Very magical girl is, now I think of it like, I'm trying to think like if magical girls like have like a strong romance component, and I think Sailor Moon's the one with the biggest payoff.
It kind of does. And actually, what's really interesting about...
They make out all the time.
They do, but they also have that really weird formula in their romance where, like, they have to hate each other for, like, the first bit before they realize they love each other, and that pops up a lot in anime.
Yeah, but they didn't know they were lovers in the past
They never
life.
know. That's how most anime goes. They never know. They're just like, oh, you're a dick, you're a bitch for like 20 episodes,
How
and then,
could
oh, I love
Tuxedo
you.
Mask figure out that Usagi was Sailor Moon all this time?
Oh, and she couldn't figure out that he was Tuxedo Mask.
Well,
like,
he had
what
a
the fuck?
mask.
He had
His-
a
And
fucking
he was
eye
all-
patch, essentially.
His facial features look very familiar, but the mask and the top hat have me stumped.
He's not calling me Meatball Head, okay. So, like, yeah, whatever.
And then
Like,
when he's looking at her, he's like, "Oh, her meatball heads are very similar, but her napkin skirt and the little ornaments in her meatball hair,
she's not even
they got me
hiding her looks.
They
Like,
got me stumped."
I don't get that.
Yeah,
What other blonde women are there
Also-
in Japan? Like,
Well, yeah.
oh, God.
But, like, if you think about it, like, the hiding identity of Magical Girl and, like,
Yeah.
nobody takes pictures with their fucking cell phones, like, facial
Nobody sees
recognition.
them do that shit. There's
Hey,
no one in
man.
like a
Hey, man.
building across the street.
In Sailor
going
Moon's
like, what the
defense, I
fuck?
don't think they had cell phones that advanced back then.
Yeah, but let's say think now.
Yeah, but there's Magical Girls series coming out now, and I'm thinking, why isn't there like? I'm sure there's at least one person in a building across the street who's like, "What the fuck is that?" You know, on their iPhone or something.
Yeah, I mean, like, you think of now, like, Bad Girl, like, she has a mask, and she's always, like, identity and stuff, but she's, like, she has her Instagram account.
And that's the difference between like heroes and magical girls, because heroes they actually hide somewhere and then change and then go out.
But
The
no,
girls,
there's heroes that don't have masks.
I know there's some, but like they at least they go away somewhere and then say like, you know, I'm gonna dress up here and then go out. They do it privately,
Yeah.
and then with magical girls they just do it out in the middle of the street, like I'm here publicly. Boop.
I mean, Black Canary's a hero that doesn't really wear a mask. Like, I mean, if you go pre-New 52, her mother was Black Canary and she used to wear, like, a mask in the Society of America. But, like, now I think of it, like, most superheroes wear masks to hide their identity.
Yeah, exactly. I think the best form of identity concealing, I think, if you want to go for like the ultimate alter ego.
It's like, what, Superman that wear glasses? I mean,
I know. Oz, I think you know this as well. You know this as well. I think the best form of like alter ego transformation is probably in Detroit Metal City. When you go from like
Oh, God.
when you go from like Krauser, who's like this really buff, like scary dude who just
Yeah.
screams rape
Johann
every time in his
Krauser
songs.
the
Like
second.
and his alter ego is like this really sweet, kind
Overly
guy
sweet, if you
with
ask
like
me.
no makeup on, and he's like
And he has like this bowl-shaped haircut.
bowl-shaped haircut. He's always happy and nice, and he wants to play like acoustic guitar.
He wants to
love
play like
songs.
pop songs.
The cheesiest pop love songs, but he gets roped into doing metal music, so he
Yeah.
dresses up like Kiss, and he just like
Yeah.
goes out and just
Jesus.
and scream. Oh my god,
That's another topic altogether.
I
though.
wish superheroes followed that method.
I mean, like, if you
That'd be
think of, like,
interesting.
shitty costumes and, like, hiding identity, it's like wearing glasses for Superman.
yeah.
And then, like, I remember I was watching Supergirl and they were like, and she was asking, like, how can people not figure out that it's me? And, like, Jimmy Olsen's like, well, I mean, a lot of people would not think there's a superhero standing right in front of them.
Yeah, I think what's really
I mean, she looks pretty dorky when she's, like, just wearing her glasses and having, like, her hair up and shit. But it's like, come on.
I think that's why I liked watching Jessica Jones recently, because like she didn't even need to.
She was like, I'm
Either.
a fucked up private detective.
She's a fucked up private detective, and you know, if people said she was super strong, they just chopped it up to delusion, essentially, which was cool. Like that's a good way to hide that fact.
Yeah.
And she didn't even hide that fact about herself,
Well, I mean, she was just like...
to an extent.
Yeah, she didn't really talk about it. She's like, I'm just really good at my job. And then,
That's
like,
it. Yeah.
and she doesn't really have any, like, she's like this tiny woman. So, like,
Yeah.
nobody really expects that out of her.
Yeah.
And they have, like, very, like, subtle powers. Like, you think of Luke Cage. He's just, like, unbreakable skin.
I like that about him. Like that is so cool.
Good old Luke.
Good old Luke. I like him.
And then Jessica's just like, I'm really strong, but nobody would think that from what I look like. So,
Exactly.
you know.
I want to have magical girls who have powers from the get-go, not granted to
But
them.
would they be
I want
magical
magical girls who kill people.
Yeah, I do. Magical girls.
Straight up murder.
Well, imagine if there was like a magical girl with like the complexity of Batman. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Jesus Christ.
That would be amazing. That
Man, fucking trademark that.
Trademark,
Fucking
like,
bat
magic.
Bat magic.
Bat magic, yeah.
Fucking
Bat magic.
transformations, like just like a
In-
whirlwind of bats.
In like a cute, in her like cute anime-ish girl voice, she's like, "Swear to me,
Swear to me.
swear to me, we're a crow. Swear to me, Kudasai." You know?
Why do you want to kill me?
I want to kill you.
Swear to me.
Swear to me.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay.
Bad prison power.
Bad prison. Yeah. I mean, that would be interesting, to say the least. Like,
that would be amazing.
like magical girl versions of American superheroes.
Oh my god, wouldn't that be amazing? Batman, prison power.
It's just
I
like,
swear I will never kill any villain.
it's like, in the name of law and order.
Or Superman, or how about Thor? Come on.
Yeah, I mean, Thor is a god. That's different.
Yeah, but we're talking about Chris Hemsworth Thor. We're talking about him doing a transformation scene.
Sure.
I think that man service would do very well.
I mean, yeah.
You just imagine him and
Sarah's
Tom.
totally down for that.
Yeah, and him and Tom Hiddleston.
Hey, man, I mean,
and Tom Hiddleston doing magical transformations.
I mean, it's just another type of charm. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. You see, like bony, frail, pale dude
Bony.
and buff giant Nordic man.
I mean, he's not like.
Or like
I'm not gonna go into details of Tom Hiddleston, but it's just like he's not like a fucking meat man. You know, it's just like a normal dude. That's what he looks like.
That's right. Yeah,
Sort of.
it's sort of
Yeah. So, I mean, Chris Hemsworth looks good even in like in dorky Ghostbusters promo pictures. So
That's looking really cool so far.
yeah.
The Ghostbusters are.
And now we got the hate. We're gonna have the hate. Starting now.
Oh, hey guys, do you think the Ghostbuster ladies are magical girls?
Yeah, people are really hating on that concept right now.
So insane. I don't get the hate for it. It's like,
Childhood equaled ruined. Oh my gosh, my childhood on Ghostbusters.
oh my gosh, how,
Oh my god.
are they gonna have a female Slimer? What the fuck?
Oh, gatekeepers.
Oh, a woman Zool.
What?
That would be kind of cool. Or no, a female Gozer. A female Gozette.
So basically, like,
Gozette.
gender bent. But it's not even gender bent. Because they say.
I want to see a giant, big-breasted marshmallow woman.
Oh my god.
That would be
And
amazing.
then
I bet
she
you do.
destroys, like,
You see her,
buildings because her boob get in the way. It's like, what?
you see her frolicking like a stereotypical Swedish woman, like, oh.
Oh my god.
That would
I mean,
be
we don't
so-
know if it's good or not. There's not even a trailer for it.
There's not even a trailer. I mean, it's just a cool idea on paper. We'll see if the Hollywood method doesn't,
I mean, I don't know when it's coming out this summer.
Is it?
I think so, but there's no trailer for it yet. So people are just like, oh my god, please don't suck. Like,
Yeah,
it should be okay, though. They have a good cast.
should be okay.
It's alright.
Well, we don't know. We haven't seen anything yet, so.
Not anything.
So is that it?
I guess that's a wrap for now.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Liking this.
Magical girl.
magical girls, they don't kill people. Superheroes, they
Sometimes do.
and
All
it's a huge
magical
plot
girls.
point.
All magical girls are Batman.
And what else is there? How like every lantern in the DC universe is technically a magical girl.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So would that also make like everyone who became a White Lantern a magical girl for a temporary amount of time?
What's the White Lantern?
Basically, they were a force that was basically used to fight against the Black Lanterns, apparently, which were
Yeah.
all dead heroes essentially.
So Black.
So ghosts? Ghost Army?
yeah,
Dead
Like
Armies,
Lord
yeah.
of the Rings style?
yeah. Hold on.
So the Black Lanterns would be like magical dead girls.
Yeah.
They're like the queen, the evil queen. So.
Oh, I have a great idea.
Yeah.
I have a great idea for a story. A bunch of magical girls die, and like a necromancer brings them back to life.
Oh god.
That would
Oh,
be
God.
so cool, actually.
Well, I mean, you're selling all your ideas on the podcast, so.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
basically,
we're pitching. We're pitching ideas. This is a pitch project, too.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my ideas close to my heart.
Close to your heart. Hey, listen. Anybody wants to use that idea? That's public domain. But if I beat you to the punch, I'm fucking suing you.
yeah, the White Lanterns were just made to beat the
Full
Black
on Fine
Lanterns,
Brothers,
essentially.
okay? You can't react to this.
I will. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
But yeah, like they embodied the life entity and they used
Let's
that
call this
to,
Animooters
to
World.
fight the.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Black
make it the
Lanterns, there you
Animooter
go.
Bros.
So yeah, everyone who becomes a White Lantern is essentially a magical girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Magical girls forever.
And this podcast is forever.
Yeah.
So that's it for today, and the Nugget is still quiet.
I know.
She's so quiet.
Because I'm just listening. I don't know.
We'll get her to chat next time.
Yeah.
Until next time, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.